Hi everyone, this is Jay Johnson with dailytexture.com. Today I want to take just a few minutes to introduce you to the Dreamy Skies collection. I know that several of you have bought the Dramatic Skies collection and really like it, and it's wonderful for making very artistic versions out of your photographs, artistic art pieces, because of the bold brush strokes. But I know that there's a lot of you who like a softer touch to be able to blend more with just the straight photo without doing something too artistic. So I've created the Dreamy Skies collection, which has 50 soft and dreamy sky backgrounds. And I've included a bonus of 4 samples from another new collection called the Big White Fluffy Cloud Overlays. Big White Fluffy is what I call the clouds when they're really out and look like cotton balls on a day when I'm going out to photograph, and I just love to photograph on those kind of days when the big white fluffies are out. So I created from my original photographs an entire collection of 50 of the cloud overlays as well. And I'm including 4 cloud overlays that are not included in the cloud overlay collection, that are just included as a bonus with the Dreamy Skies that I'm introducing you to today, because I wanted to show you how you can use the Dreamy Sky background and then add a little bit more interest with the cloud overlay. So just to do a quick example today, we're going to take this picture of one of my neighbor's dogs. This is a sweet golden retriever, older golden retriever, and her name is Asia, and she's just a beautiful dog, very photogenic. And she was, I actually took this from my house, and she was down on the street. I was using a telephoto that day because I was photographing birds, and she just happened to look up and was just in the right place at the right time, and I thought this was a really nice picture. And I thought it would make her look a little bit nicer and more larger than life if I could use a texture behind her. And I thought these new sky textures might work. So I'm going to start from scratch here. I have not pre-done this, so you're going along with me on this adventure to see what we can do with Miss Asia. So I'm going to go to the collection, open it up, and find one that I think might work well with her. 16 looks kind of nice. It has some yellowish tones, which would go nice with her fur. Let's see. I don't want to use something that's too gold or yellow because she's already got so much of those tones in her fur. I don't want it to blend together too much. 29 looks kind of nice. It's got just a touch of yellow there. Let's see. I'll know it when I see it, which one I want to use. Actually, I'm looking at 19 now. Let's try 19. Okay, now I'm going to put Asia on top. So Asia's on top, the texture's underneath her, and I'm going to mask away all of this. And I'm in Topaz Photo FX Lab where I do all my masking. I'm going to put my flow, which is like opacity, all the way over to the left on the masking tab. That'll enable it to take away everything. And in the beginning I do this, I raise my brush size up and I'll take away the larger areas as quickly as possible. Oh, I can tell this is already looking nice. Now as I get in a little closer to her, I'm going to lower the brush size. It doesn't have to be exact, just close to the edges of her. Get rid of that green right there of that grass behind her. Make sure I've got everything masked away over there. Not too worried about the ears because I'm actually going to softly blend some of this over the ears. And I can see by my little mask image right here that I have a few spots that I've missed somewhere. So I'm going to try to find those and get those little extra spots out. Okay, now I'm going to go around these ears, but I'm going to lower the flow, which is like opacity, and I'm just going to brush away where it's real dark right there. And actually, it actually brings the texture from underneath right into her fur when I do this. I'm going to do this all the way around her. Get around these ears. I don't want any harsh outlining. I like very soft transitions. Okay, now I'm going to make the big brush, and I'm just kind of lightly brush away some of this to kind of fade her in. It gives it a real soft and dreamy look. Now I've got a little bit too much texture showing right there, so I'm going to reverse my brush value, which is like changing from black to white when you're masking in one of those programs where you use black and white. I'm going to move my flow back up all the way. I'm going to go in here and actually put back some of what I took away because it's a little strong. Then I'm going to lower the flow again, which this time puts back less of it, but we're still putting back. I just don't want anything to look real harsh. And I'm basically just tapping right now to bring back some of these areas. That looks pretty good. Now, that looks really nice. She's got a nice soft dreamy look, and I probably should have duplicated her image. Well, I actually can do that. Let me duplicate it and undo the mask I did. And I'll put this. This is the original image, and then that's where we're at right now. I'm going to put the original down here on the bottom, just in case I need to refer back to it. Now, I like this. It gives her a really soft, dreamy look. It took away that street in the background and grass, concrete and grass, and really focuses on her. Now I'll do a couple of things here. I'm going to duplicate the texture layer and bring it on top, which is something I normally do. And then I play with layer modes like multiply, overlay, soft light, hard light. I'll just go through the different layer modes and see if any of these look good. I really like overlay. It brightens her up. It adds a little bit more color to the background. It makes her white areas a little bit too white, so I'm going to bring down the opacity to about maybe close to 60%. 60% is pretty good. So if you turn it off, that's where I started, with just the background behind her, and then I duplicated the texture layer, put it on top, set it to overlay at 61%, and now that just brightens everything up, gives it a real nice glow. Now I'm going to grab one of these free bonus fluffy cloud overlays that come with this package. Like I said, I have a separate collection I've set up called the Big White Fluffies with 50 of these. These are 4 extra ones I had, and I decided to put them as a bonus in this package so you could play with them. Now I'm going to decide, let's try this one here. Now, as you can see, it's not these are cropped from my original photos, so they're not the exact same size as the texture background, so you can stretch it out a little bit. Let's put this up here behind her, and let's stretch it out even more and sort of arrange things here. You can move it around. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this under her so it can appear as behind her. So I drug that cloud layer down underneath her. Now, as you can see, we have a harsh line here, and we have a lot of blue in the cloud, and I have this gold up here that I want to keep. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm on the cloud layer, and I'm going to take the saturation of the cloud layer all the way down, which gets rid of all color, all the blue color, but leaves the clouds. And now I'm going to change the cloud layer mode to soft light, or hard light's a little too harsh around her head. Overlay's kind of in the middle. I like soft light. I just want a soft, little interesting thing. And now I can move the clouds around a little bit. I like this right here. Okay, that's without it, and that's with it. But I still have this harsh line down here. So this is where some more masking comes in. I'm going to, on the cloud layer, I'm going to raise my flow all the way up, get my brush size down, and I'm going to totally get rid of this harsh line across the bottom. You don't see it over there. Now that I've gotten rid of the harsh line, I need to have a little bit more transition between this and this. So I'm going to lower the flow, raise the brush size, and just gently tap in there to get rid of some of that cloud layer so it's not quite so strong. Now, this is without the cloud layer, and that's with the cloud layer. And let's zoom out, which is what I like to do, to look at things from a distance, because that's how most people are going to view art. That's without, and that's with. See, that cloud layer just adds a little bit more interest, makes her appear larger than life with that nice background. Now let's take a look at the original where we started. That's the original, and this is now. Now this is just beautiful. I'd be really pleased to give this to a client, a pet portrait client that was looking for a portrait of their pet that was something different than showing concrete, driveways, street, grass. Now that's a really nice picture. I might do some more with this. Let's try to duplicate that overlay layer again and change it to multiply. That would darken the sky a little bit. Soft light overlay. Soft light even gives it just a little more boost of light. Let's zoom out and see what I think of that. No, it's a little too bright around her head. We're going to delete that and go back where we were. So just to recap, I have the main texture, Dreamy Sky 19 on the bottom. Then I put Asia on top of it and masked away her background, leaving her on top of the main texture. Then I duplicated that main texture and put it on top and set it to overlay at 61% to brighten things up a little bit, give it a little bit more glow. Then I decided to add more interest back here. So I chose one of the Fluffy Cloud bonus overlays that come with this collection, and I put it underneath her. So it wouldn't be going across her face and I wouldn't have to mask that off. I put it underneath her, and then I masked away the hard edge of that layer after desaturating it. And here's why. If you have the saturation on that layer all the way up, you're getting a lot of blue tones introduced into here. Even though you've got it set on a different layer mode, you're still getting a lot of blue. When you lower that saturation, you're keeping this golden tone up here that was present totally in the original texture. And I wanted to keep that. So that's why I like to desaturate these cloud layers, the overlays. If you wanted to add more blue up here, you could leave the saturation as it is, since there's blue in the cloud layer, and you could even increase it if you wanted to. But I like to use it as just to add the clouds and not necessarily the color from that sky, because I like the color of the texture, the Dreamy Sky 19, that I already used behind her. I think that blends really nicely with her. And now I'm quite happy with this, so I will merge the entire thing. And at that point, that is a merged layer now with her and the sky. And I could go into some of the other topaz modules if I wanted to, and do some different things, such as topaz lens effects is one of my favorite. I like to add this gold reflector light sometimes if I wanted to brighten a certain area more, or if I wanted to darken the bottom layer, I would go to the graduated neutral density filter and darken her bottom layer right there if I wanted it a little bit darker. But really, I don't think she needs any of that. She looks pretty good as is. So I'm going to leave Miss Asia alone. I just wanted to do this as a quick introduction as to how you can use the Dreamy Skies backgrounds and the cloud overlays with them. And once again, this is the Dreamy Sky collection here. It's on the website now, and the cloud overlay collection, Big White Fluffies, is also on the website. And I will put Asia's example photo up there, and I'm going to do some more example photos too that I will add up there so you can see what can be done with these backgrounds. Once again, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, just drop me a note.